As we know, women's football is growing internationally. We've seen numbers at events, but also we've seen the commitment by FIFA as well as CAF to make sure that they have set up strategic committees that are looking into not just the development of the game, but also the commercialization of the game, and that's very important. We have a Women's World Cup coming in Australia and New Zealand next year, and FIFA's announced that it will actually have its own standalone sponsors. So it's a very exciting time in the women's game, and for me it's just such an honor to be called through after having served on the task team in 2019 to put together the strategy, and now to be part of the committee that's going to make sure that that vision is realized and put into place, and to make sure that African women's football grows from strength to strength. So it's very exciting, and I'm just proud to be part of that committee with women like Aisha Johansson, who's been there for some time, and obviously the head of the committee, Mrs. Kaizer, who took up her post in 2021. Women who've been in the game, and she obviously is representing Camors who've been in the space, and I'm hoping to also leverage women such as Mrs. Natasha Chiklas, who's also been part of the committee in the past and has been involved in women's football and was part of the task team. The likes of Sue Destum, who's doing very well with COSAFA in the space, and obviously excited to be working with people like Desiree, who will share what's happening on the field and the wonderful work that she's doing also in the committee at FIFA, and the likes of Fran, who's also been part of FIFA and consults regularly. So it's a very exciting space, but I'm also looking forward to meeting new women who want to add to the space and make sure that they contribute. And I'm just very honored. I'd like to thank CAF, the CAF president, a president who's very progressive, and I think we as South Africans are very fortunate to have a president who is South African, but who is really driven to making the continent's football work, you know. I'd also like to thank, obviously, the chairman of the league, who has me in some of the committees and has really been encouraging about this, and obviously our own chairman here at Kaizer Chiefs, who's always empowering women in the space. And I also look forward to working with SAFA, with Mr. Jordan and the SAFA team, to make sure that we work in this space together to make sure that women's football goes to the next level, and to really leverage the resources that are around us. But most importantly, I think the commercialization of the space, and something that I think I can bring to the party. I look forward to the women's AFCON, which is happening in July, and we'll be watching the games. I'm quite excited that we have the numbers of participants have increased, and there are new teams that have come in who are part of the space, like Botswana, Burundi, and all those. So it's really exciting to see that women's football is the fastest growing sport right now globally. I'm also excited that I'll be traveling to the US on a leadership conference, but also have the opportunity to meet with some key leadership in the US space, where women's football has thrived for some time now. So there's a lot of learning. So for me, there's a lot of learning, but at the same time, a lot of sharing that I hope I can bring to the space. So it's such an honor to be the South African representing South Africa in the committee, and I look forward to do that with distinction and grace, and to enjoy it as well. I'm bringing my expertise and actually even my energy as a woman and how I do things to the CAF space, and to the women that I'm going to be working with, and to the young talented women who are in the game, you know, and also bringing new partnerships. I think that the women's game can be a standalone game. You're seeing now that for FIFA, the women's game has its own sponsors, so why not on the continent, you know? So bringing a fresh packaging of the game, but also going and enjoying it, you know, and facing a new challenge. I think for me, this is a role that's going to challenge me, because it's a space I haven't been working in, and meeting new people. I think that's going to be fun, and working with women who love the game and who have contributed for many, many years.